So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Have the Race Gone for the monthly edition. That is of course the April edition of the Audi TT Showdown series. Good evening to everyone who's joined us already. Good early evening, that is, to Maverick, Martin and Alex out there. We're watching the Super Pole qualifying session. This is TX3 Untitled. He's making his way around. He's gonna be the first driver to set a time. And we're right in the action here. I'm trying a new thing actually here to just jump right in it. Evening Kenny as well. Evening to Welsh. A pleasure to have you guys along, of course. As always, Untitled there with a 2 minutes 7. That's first time set. Here comes Dr. Hash. He's been purple on his lap, on his way around. Let's see how it's gonna end up. Oh, it's close. It's so close. It's actually by just a tenth of a second. He's in second provisionally. I think Abu certainly had some problems there on his lap. So it's spit play or Campino. Let's call him Campino. He's gonna be a little bit of distance off. He's 1.5 seconds down. Then Calm, who was really on the pace last time out, he's also gonna be just a slight half a second off. Our second Portuguese here for tonight, and Grosso, or just Grosso, he's 7th at just 8th there with Quinton. Placing 6th, Halbstärk. Oh, and Shoma new pole position time. Times are flying in here quicker than Evening Welsh. And yeah, this is indeed no ABS. An evening Bambi, good afternoon to you on that side of the world. It's 8 p.m. where you are, something like that. If I'm not completely, it must be something like that. I guess it's like, what, 5 hours difference? Maybe even more. Anyways, a lot of... Oh, look at that. That's Martin, Mr... I mean, I don't think... Oh, he's number 26. That is, of course, Martin. Mr. Favhuisen, who's now joined the TSR team. So we have a new name for him. That's TSR Martin. And it's just gonna be Martin from now on. And, Martin's on pole in front of Shoma. Then it's Schosse in 3rd position. Aura, Io, Halbstärk. Then Untitled, Dr. Hash, Calm in 8th position. Quinton, it's Campino and Grosso. Then it's Book. And then Jimmy. Oh, we forgot the livery. Oh, that's a shame. Martin must have sold all his 5 houses. Very close at the pointy end indeed. Certainly has to be said. Still a couple of drivers left. I think we have Book on his way around. Jimmy not having set a time as well. Let's go on board with the Finn. This of course means that it won't be long before we have the race and the action going off. So as always with these Audi TT events on the channel, they're organized by Schosse and Dr. Hash in cooperation with the IGTL crowd pretty much, and works as a an extra gathering, a monthly gathering where people can chill and have fun and race, of course. That's Spooky Goat 12 on his lap there. Martin, I must say, impressive stuff to out-qualify Chomar by 0.3 of a second. Chasse there third, no surprise. He's down by, a lot of smokers will say that's magic for Chasse there. He's down by 420 parts of a second. So let's have a look at the grid order all the way through. We can see it here on the live timing screen. So there it is. Martin, the man from Fayperson, pole position, 2 minutes 6.5. That is a killer lap indeed. Beast mode confirmed. And Martin showing that that A+ driver status don't come from nowhere. Certainly a pacey gentleman. Certainly a flying Dutchman indeed. And especially here today, pole position. Let's see if it holds up. Now, the first of the 2 heats here today is going to be 13 laps. That's 12 plus 1. So we have 12 laps of racing, and that's first lap is of course the formation lap. Then for the second heat, in which we're going to have a reversed grid order based on these qualifying standings, we're going to have a standing start. So we're both going to be covering flying and standing starts, qualifying, and then 2 times 12 laps of racing. And at the end, the red versus black show is returning as well, which I am hugely looking forward to. Hoping to finish top 5, thanks. Yeah, Martin, I'd say that the pole position is hugely impressive, given the drivers you're up against here, and I think I'd be happy to take, if it was me, I'd be happy to take top 5 as well. And then we know Chomar, he never takes anything seriously, does he? Lazy Frenchman, he just shows up with his skills and his second. He shows up with his skills and his second without practice. Sorry, Martin. Hey, Cliche, good evening. I am quite nice, getting closer to that promised land of Easter holidays. Just a single workday left tomorrow. Oh, look at that. Kind of looks like a tug of war between 2 of those drivers. And with no ABS, indeed. Yeah. Goddamn ET. So grid being set, and the qualifying is of course over. That means formation lap is underway. People can't wait to get underway with the destruction derby. This is like watching good old NES races. And indeed, Maverick, the baguette is strong with that one. I have a little bit of inside knowledge about Chomar. Can you believe it? He does not even like red wine. What kind of a Frenchman is he even? Good evening to Gian Lodea. It's a pleasure having you along. Enjoy the show. We're quite close to getting the racing underway. I think it's, well, just about now, more or less. Although, as I mentioned before, Chomar doesn't like French wine. He doesn't like red wine. But he does like white wine, so that kind of, I guess that helps a bit. Maverick? Or is it to be more sexy, like Maverick? I gotta come up with some kind of way to keep you folks entertained for these waiting periods, post-qualifying, pre-race. Seems like we always have these 10 minutes that are hard to kill, so to say. No sexy, okay, no sexy. I'll keep it gently there for you. I will keep it decidedly unsexy. Ads! We should have a big, long ad block indeed, Alex. That's a good idea. Should have a... Problem is that I can't display it from the PlayStation. I need... Oh. Was that who got actually punted off there by Jonaleska? Oh, what I got planned with my Easter break? Well, I got a little bit of plans actually. First of all, I'm gonna relax since it's Easter break. It's a week off more or less. But I am also going to be actively doing an old passion of mine, that is racing bicycles. And I'm gonna be racing one of my vintage bicycles in the Danish land, the land of Jutland, in the Danish mainland, the part that sticks up from Germany, which is not the part I live in, so I have to travel across the country, which is not a long distance, as also Denmark is small. Wow, what? So I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be doing a bike race this coming week. I'm gonna be doing bad plebbing. I've just been sick, and I'm not at all in physical shape to do well, I think, at least. You never know, it might surprise. Cliche, I don't think I'm gonna film it and do commentary, even though I might live stream it, stick a GoPro and a mic to the mouth and just a lot of heavy breathing. No. I'm not... to be honest, I don't think our core audience here finds cycling content that interesting. I might be wrong, who knows? Might be time to get into have the bike race gone. To be fair, we had the NES Eco Challenge. That certainly was a lot like a bike race. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's actually, this race I'm doing first is a race that's mostly just done in preparation for another race that I'm really looking forward to, which is including some of the biggest hills of the country. And I say hills because in the end it is only hills, it's not mountains, just hills. But also some quite demanding gravel roads that would actually be pretty worthy of rallying in itself. So anyway, I think we are just about to get here. We have Buke, he's back. Oh, Book. Yeah, it's probably Buke. Buke. And gentlemen, dear, I thought the race, actually the race should have started 4 minutes ago. Sorry, 4 minutes ago. But these lads here, as always, they just, yeah, exactly, Kenny. Rule book, it's all in the rule book. You could have read it. You could have read it going into the race cars. We could have been racing by now. And with that little bit of that ran over. Now back to pleasant Dirten instead of demon Dirten. Oh, the final has begun, and that means that we will be getting the excuse me, the formation lap underway in a short matter of time. On your screen, just about now, will be the grid order with Martin Fairperson on pole position in front of Shomar. Then it's Schosse in third. Then Aura, Halbstag, Dr. Hash, Calm, Quentin, Grosso, Jonaleska, Campino, Jimmy, Avup, and Buke in 14th position. Ladies and gentlemen, the formation lap is just about to get underway. Finally, we have cars racing around the track. Or racing is maybe too much to say here on the formation lap. Oh, what happened to Martin here? He needs to get back in front. Oh, that's Campino who doesn't... I think he's... Kenny, can you please... Can we have that... Can we have some rule books in chat? Chat, can we have some rule books for Campino, who's just driven away? He must be thinking, why? How can I just pull out this 6.5 second gap? There are different kinds of rule books, even 2 versions here. I'm also being a bit of a bastard here because I'm showing him. I could go back to the rest of the field warming up. I'm just gonna type it for him. Black flag, yeah. Easy wins, great. Exactly, Kenny. That's exactly what I thought. That was my thoughts in a nutshell. Oh. But the rest of the field is keeping it tight and close here. The top 3, as mentioned before, it's Martin, freshly joining the newly formed TSR team. So TSR going from being a small band of brigadiers, of brothers, of friends, into being something much more serious by now. And in turn, of course, this is something that we here on the channel hugely applaud, and we will be much more from, well, both the TSR races and also the drivers. And in turn, also really interesting to see which drivers are going to be handpicked by Stick and Welsh. So a very good evening, a very warm welcome to everyone who is just joining in here at the perfect time, right about in time for the race start. We have TSR Martin leading him off. It's Shomar, the AS Monaco driver, in second, locking up row 1. Then it's Schosse, Aura, Halbstag, Jonaleska, Dr. Hash, and Calm, the Canadian, in 8th place. And here they are, go, and it's green. And Martin Fairperson, Martin, TSR Martin as it is now, is leading him down. He's shutting off Shomar, who's braking hard. Oh, Shomar going way wide, and he really locks it up there on the inside. Might have picked up some damage on that situation there. It's Aura 4th with Halbstag, Jonaleska, Hash. Then it's Vierlex, Quentin, the Volex esports driver, the Belgian, quickly up through years up into 8th position there. Calm down into 9th. It's the second of the 2 TSR drivers, Jimmy, in 10th position. Then Buke, Grosso, Avup, and Campino back in 14th now. So Martin getting away well here. Schosse in 2nd position, putting on that pressure. It's Shomar in 3rd. And let's have a look at the start and at least what happened to the Frenchman here, because he had a hectic start indeed. Getting shot off by Martin there. A little bit of a notch between the 2. Then goes all the way into Halbstag there, I think, on the outside. Was it Halbstag or Aura? It's one of those 2 at least. And that's not what he wanted. I'm quite sure. Let's see if any of those 2 were unlucky to pick up some damage. Yep, Shomar picking up damage. And Aura picking up damage as well. So it was those 2 here as Halbstag now goes to the inside of Shomar. They're battling for that 3rd place. It's Shomar now on the inside. Coming onto the back straight here. Oh, Halmstad onto the grass. Onto the gravel, but he manages to keep it in. It's still Martin leading shots, and they're breaking away from the rest of this pack. But this is really close racing in between. It's Jomar, Aura, Halmstad, and Jonaleska. And they're going to go 3 wide into the back chicane as Jomar clears both of them. That's what kind of bulldozing move is that? He sends a move to Halmstad. A little touch there. A little touch to Jonaleska as well. Let's see if we can have another look with the Frenchman here. So, massive amount of battling here on the opening lap, going on board just to see. Oh, it's just sliding about. There was no contact. There was no contact between himself and actually either or. It just looked like it. Visual illusion. Locking front wheels all over the place. As TSR Martin is leaving the rest in his wake. Oh, as he gets slidey through section 1 into the stadium corner here. And Schosse is doing a good job of just keeping close. He's very close indeed. Oh well, Bambi. I guess there was a little bit of contact indeed. It is sketchy without ABS in these cars here. Now Halmstad up into 3rd position. Jomar, he's holding on to 4th, even with the damage. So that's a pretty good job so far. Jonaleska in 5th position. It's Dr. Hash up into 6th. Good job there. TSR Jimmy has had a flying start. He's up into 7th place. He came from all the way down in 12th, I believe. That's an absolutely brilliant opening lap. Calm in 8th position and Grosso in 9th. And it's Quinton down in 10th position. It's Aura, he's all the way down in 11th. Buke is 12th. And then behind these two, it's Campino and Aveup. Aveup, our French colleague, broadcasting colleague, when it comes to the IGTL races. So still close between Martin and Schosse. Now Schosse looking to have the run, but he's too far down on the entrance to the final chicane, and he will be looking for a good exit perhaps. There's a possibility of overtaking here in the final turn, and otherwise it's just all about that run down to turn 1. Even to Olaf, and indeed Martin with many avid supporters as well. Actually one of the absolute fan favorites in chat, at least here on the channel. He's still leading here as we come on towards effectively lap 3. Schosse now looking to the inside, but it's more of a thought than an actual move up there. And Martin still keeping it very, very composed. Halmstad still holding on in 3rd. Now Jonaleska is getting his way past Jomar. I think that's through turn 1. And he's making that stick as well. So it's French on French with the TX3 driver passing the AS Monaco Pro, that is Jomar. Pushing down into 5th position, of course, Jomar with no practice. And indeed also with the... So here we see whatever battling went ahead, and also with a bit of damage that he picked up. It was Jomar that he got overtaken, cut into the inside there. Massive amount of wheel locking yet again. But it seems Jonaleska just able to hold it round on the outside. Evening to Nils as well. Nice to have you along. I'm of course, as always, with my trusted mate, my good friend that is Coffee. And where would I be without? That is the question. I have to say it's a good job from Jomar keeping up so far. Let's have a look with Dr. Hash in 6th position. Spot on, Bambi. And Jimmy holding on to that 7th place. I have to say that's pretty good stuff. TSR with a good showing here tonight. Now up in front, look at that. Schosse getting very close on the entrance to the final chicane. Martin cuts him off though. Cold-blooded. Like the title of a Rick James song. Now though, Schosse gets the exit. And this is exactly what I was talking about last time around. It is possible to get the lunge and the option to go on the inside in the final corner here. Schosse does just that. Takes over the 1st position, the leading position from Martin Favhersen. TSR Martin it is now. I have to coffee sponsorship pre-race adverts in future, that is certainly a thing that we will be contacting every... Oh, that is a big slide from Martin to go around on the outside. And let's see if we can actually hold on. If he can hold on, that is a beautiful move, sliding around on the outside there in turn 1. Let's have another look. Martin, you beautiful man. Impressive stuff. Just see if we can look in there and see that slide he got carrying. Still leading as we rejoin those two. What a battle for the lead. Halbstag is catching up as a result. Schosse gets a big slide on there. Halbstag, he has punched a big hole. A big gap down to Unaleska in 4th. Dr. Hash is now getting past Schomar up into 5th position. So Schomar clearly suffering because of the damage there. Jimmy now on his back bumper. Karm is up into 8th position. So it's all looking... close still from positions, well, pretty much positions 4 down to 8 or 9 at the moment. An amazing T1 move indeed, Welsh, I have to say. If you like the racing here on display, of course, leave a like. Leave a like for Martin in the lead. Leave a like for the lead battle. It certainly has been a good one on the opening 4 laps. Martin now on a... Seems to want to better the fastest lap that he's already set, but he's got Schosse right there on the bumper. Schosse yet again moving to the inside, trying to unsettle Martin, but he's gonna gain from it, I think. On board with the German Schosse 97. And Bambi, I think No, it's Netzo. Netzo Racing did deliveries for this series, if I'm not completely mistaken. I think Dr. Hash could correct me. Or anyone else organizing, involved with the organizing. But I think it was Netzo who did deliveries. They are some gems on the different colors and everything. I think it's so well done. Pleasure to see. Oh, self into turn 1. Gifting Schosse the lead. That is not what we want to see. Coming up, another look at it. On board with Mr. Favhuisen. Yeah, that is a little too late. And now it's Schosse leading Martin. Halbstag now within a second of the leading battle. All your likes absolutely tipped Martin off. He couldn't take the weight of all those. But in turn now with Halbstag catching up, it's going to be a 3-way battle for the lead here, it seems. With the... Oh, what's going on here? Just tire smoke on corner entry. Could be worse. But there's a 6-second gap from Halbstag to Unaleska, and then it's actually still training up a little bit behind him. Because Schomar, Dr. Hash, Jimmy, and Karm is running closely in behind now. Karm is getting very close to Jimmy. Let's go on board with the Canadian. Question if he's close enough to have a move here, but he isn't, and Jimmy is giving him no space to play with whatsoever. And needing to stick as well. You can see your newly signed driver doing very well, having put the car on pole position. That is, of course, Martin I'm talking about. But if you'd tuned in a little bit earlier, you could have seen Martin Bennett in turn 1. And now Schosse leading. Schosse also breaking away. And Halbstag getting Martin within his clutches now. Sorry, just as I cough a lot. It's not too long ago since I've been sick. I have to have a look at what happened to Schosse there in turn 1, because he seems to lose a lot of time indeed. No, it's just Martin in a cloud of smoke, like you would expect any Dutchman. Sorry, I'll stop with the Dutch memes. I'm not even Dutch myself. Contrary to popular belief, Dirten is not Dutch. Who's the manager of the new TSR team? Well, I would believe it to be the lad who's written the message right above yours. It is Stick, I think, Stick and Welsh managing the team. Oh, Martin! Is that a failed attempt to handbrake turn? What was that? What was that? That looks like a handbrake turn attempt for me. And now letting Halbstack by there as Martin as well. Still Unaleska 5 seconds down on the leading battle. He's gotten himself a gap down to Shomar now up into 5th. Dr. Hash still 6th. Quinton up into 7th position. That's impressive stuff indeed. Aura up into 8th. Jimmy, he's fallen down into 9th position. And it's the Flying Finn Buke that is in 10th position. It's Portuguese Grosso in 11th. Abub is in 12th with Calm down in 13th position. So he must have had some kind of issue indeed. He was running 8th before he was right on the bumper of Jimmy. Jimmy's also fallen down a couple of positions. And then Campino still in 14th, but he is making a move on Calm to get out of last place. And he's done exactly that into the final chicane. Now back with leading car, it's Schosse. He's broken that deadlock. And he's broken the slipstream down to Halbstack for the time being. But Halbstack seems to have strong pace about him here. Oh yeah, of course, it's just the ABS and rear-facing brake bias in order to try and preserve those tortured front tires. Those, yeah, they get put through a lot. I have to excuse my plebness, but it really did look like Martin was actually trying to handbrake turn the hairpin. Martin doing a pretty good job of keeping up with Schosse. Now Shomar having gotten past Unaleska. Did Unaleska make a mistake? Oh, we're just about too far back in time to be able to jump to it with the replay. But Shomar really fighting on, despite of the damage he sustained on the well, on the entrance to turn 1, even before turn 1. I should do everyone a favor and actually do a couple of laps in this car with no ABS just to know what it's all about. And no, Nils, there is no ABS allowed here. This is why you're seeing so much tire smoke here as Shomar's defending his inside line. Dr. Hash is staying patient. And all the while we're getting closer and closer to the end of the race. It is still Schosse, 97, leading Halbstack and TSR Martin of the freshly formed TSR esports team, e-racing team if you will. Our good friends over there, of course, so we will, not saying that I'm biased. It's but it's a good maiden race for Martin as TSR Martin. He's doing a really good job of keeping up with some strong gentlemen indeed, the two Germans that are leading here. Of course, a home track advantage here on the Nürburgring. Halbstack is doing a really good job actually. He's on a purple sector here through sector 1, of course. And now Shomar, Dr. Hash, and Unaleska is back in front. And Dr. Hash is trying to get around on Shomar, but he won't be able to. Still a lot of action. Still a lot of stuff happening here. Aura is now up in 7th position. Jimmy's in 8th. It's Quinton in 9th position at the moment. We're on board with Aura, who's on the inside of Dr. Hash, fighting for 6th position. He's gonna make that move. And right in front, it's Shomar getting the better exit, it seems, on Unaleska. Unaleska may be able to get earlier on the throttle up towards the Schumacher S's. And here we go. Oh, no taps between them. Oh, that's brilliant stuff, but a little bit of a tap from Aura to the backside of Untitled. That might actually aid him as Untitled is gonna send it. Is Shomar gonna keep it? There's a little bit of train trading, and at the same time, Dr. Hash is on the inside here. Brilliant 2x2 stuff. You'd believe it's the formation lap, but they are actually racing. And who comes out of this in the lead? Well, they're still side by side, Untitled and Shomar. And it's really impossible to call. They might be more than 2 wide here into the final chicane. Impressive stuff indeed. On board with Aura here on the inside. He's right behind Untitled. It's it's Shomar to its right. Then I imagine it's Dr. Hash right behind. Finally, they break this deadlock here. No, they don't, because Dr. Hash still on the outside or the inside, and he retakes 6th position. And in the end, all is as it were before that battle. That's impressive stuff. Good battling, guys. Joseph is now leading by 1.1 seconds. He's extended ever so slightly. But until now, every time he's done so, Halbstag and Martin's been able to pick up the pace ever so slightly and just put themselves back into contention. And indeed, Maverick, the racing is brilliant here. Some really good racing on display. Still just half a second between Halbstag and Martin. And by no means is this over yet. Still 3.5 laps of racing left from this first heat. Damage, no practice. But look at the train that's forming up behind the Frenchman. They say catching him is one thing, getting past is quite another. And this turns out to be true now with Aura up in 5th position. He's gotten passed on Untitled. Untitled has actually fallen down 2 positions. He's down into 6th now. And with that is of course time for the Wayne Can. As Shomar once again goes defensively to the inside. Blocks off Aura, just leaves him no way past. When he needs to get a run on Shomar, he needs to get a little bit more distance, you'd believe actually, in order actually to make the pass stick and to make a move materialize on the Frenchman in front. Because right now, here it is with the rundown. It is on the outside, but he does have the run into that final chicane. He does have his nose in front, but Shomar, that's cool as ice, keeps 4th place for now. Time around though, let's see Aura on the inside of the final corner. And yet again, Shomar just cuts him off. That's brilliant racing from the Frenchman. Untitled right on the bumper of Aura here. Jimmy in 7th still. Quinten in 8th. In 9th it is Dr. Hash. Avup is in 10th with the Grosso in 11th. Capino 12th. Book is 13th. And Carm in the pit in 14th position at the moment. Shoss is still extending. It's over 1.5 seconds. And that's for the first time while Aura set the fastest lap of the race so far. And there is a big line of people wanting to get a piece of bread. Indeed. A piece of baguette. And it says it all, that 17-second gap from Shomar up to Martin, and no one has been able to get past. No one has been able to get past and in turn make it stick. I think Untitled had the chance. I don't know what happened to him, but given with this now, it's Aura up the inside, and this time, a little bit of a punt. But in turn, Shomar didn't give him any space. So that might have been self-inflicted. That was rough defending. It was rough attacking as well. Touring car racing. But somehow Shomar holds on to that 4th position. That is impressive stuff indeed. Aura darting to the outside this time around. Untitled in behind. Jimmy still just biding his time. Quinten trying to catch up to this battle in front. Let's have a look with the front runners just quickly. Martin attempting to catch up to Halbstag, but he's put out of the slipstream for now. And that is probably going to settle it as the front runners are starting the penultimate lap of Heat 1. So it's Shasa leading Halbstag, Martin, Shomar, Aura, Untitled, Jimmy and Quinten, and that is your top 8. And still everybody just lining up. There's like a 5-car train behind Shoma by now. Doesn't seem to lose too much straight line speed compared to Untitled. Ooh, Aura has made some kind of mistake, it seems. Because both Untitled and Jimmy has now gotten their way past the Frenchman. Or the German. So 2 laps of racing left here. I have to applaud it. Jimmy running 6th at the moment. That's really good stuff here with Aura. And I think that's Quentin on the outside. And I think he might actually hold that outside because he would be able to carry more speed. And so he did. Quentin gaining 7th here. Aura wasting no time trying to retake it. Oh, that's well caught by the German. I think it squanders his move, but an impressive save. Not to take out both himself and Quentin in that situation. Could have seen that go so wrong here up through the Schumacher S's. Aura able to carry a little more speed. They are too wide through here, let's see. That is Quentin defending well, the Belgian. The number 91 car against the number 19 car of Aura. Let's see here, 6th place is Jimmy, and he's right on the tail of Untitled. And that's TSR going toe-to-toe with TX3. And I think actually Jimmy gets the run here, unless Untitled goes very defensive. He does not. And into the final corner, onto the final lap. He might just break into the top 5. Let us see, it's gonna be a drag race though. Untitled able to carry more speed on the outside through there. And this time it is going to be a lunge up the inside for Jimmy. Is he going to take 5th position from Untitled? Oh, Untitled doing a good job of just carrying the speed on the outside. They're still pretty much 2 by 2 on the way into turn 2, and it's into the stadium section now. And now Jimmy in turn has to be careful here, but he does have a good line. But now it's Aura coming through on the outside. And then it becomes the inside here. He's going to lose that 6th position to the German. And that might in turn let Quentin in through as well. This is very close stuff. Perfect timing, hippie head. And there'll be another heat of racing after this one. So, in truth, only halfway through the show. Stick. I'm glad to know that the action is good enough to keep you from doing real life important stuff. Oh, that's Quentin with a big lockup on the way into the hairpin, but manages to get in front of Jimmy here. Jimmy down into 8th position. So it's Untitled, Aura, Quentin, and Jimmy here in the battle for 5th. That is effectively Shoma having broken away from those fellas behind him. He's now consolidating 4th. And in front, it seems it's gonna be Chasse 97 running away with the win here from the first heat. We had Martin in chat before the race. He said he'd be happy with a top 5 finish. Well, he's very, very, very certain that it's gonna happen for him with that top 5 finish. It could have been better, but that's just me being overly critical. There it is, Chasse taking the checkered flag in a superb style indeed. Beautiful race from the German. Halbstag makes it 1-2 for the Germans. Also a very good race from himself. And Martin, well, certainly not bad at all, even though he lost a couple of places from his starting position on pole. I think even that pole position was maybe a little bit more than he himself expected. He did a brilliant job to hold him off. Shoma there finishing 4th. It's Untitled 5th. Jimmy up in 6th. Oh, let's see the final couple of corners from this in a couple of seconds. I think we'd love to. Jimmy up the inside there through the final corner, gets the better of Aura. So that is Jimmy ending and finishing Heat 1 in 6th position. Aura gets 7. It's Quentin 8th. Then Dr. Hash 9th. It's Campino 10th. Grosso in 11th. That's Abu 12th. And that's Book and Calm, who's retired to the pits after getting damage. So Alex, aka Jimmy, that was an impressive race, really good stuff. And generally an amazing bit of racing here, I have to say. This series just never disappoints. With no sound, Martin, with the dying headset. How unlucky can you be? But certainly a nice race, and seems you all agree with that as well. Of course, we have Heat 2 coming up, and Heat 2 will be with a reverse grid order based on you see on the TT, the lights are like the red thing, the red light on Kit in Knight Rider. They just go from side to side. That's very cool. And I have to, I'm impressed as well, Martin, with no sound. That's I mean, for me, driving sound is so important. The sound of tire squeak, the sound of the revs for when to change and all that stuff. So I find that pretty impressive as well. So a short break now. If anyone has to let off a little water or go to the kitchen for a snack, now is the time. Well, Shaza, congratulations on that Heat 1 victory. Well done indeed. And of course, that reminds me, before we get going with the second heat of things here, we're gonna have a little commercial break, I guess, in between here, because it is so that we will be having an opening soon, actually tomorrow, and that is an opening for entrance or entries, if you will, for the next IGTL 3-hour stint race. It's gonna be a marathon of a weekend. As always, it's gonna be even more, I think, this time around, without revealing too much. And of course, the IGTL being the International Gran Turismo League. And thanks, Dick, and enjoy the work. See you soon. I was coming from the the IGTL. What can I say? It's for us here on the channel, it's a huge honor just bringing it to you all, and it's given the level that is such a high level of competition. It's such a, I feel like it's been a gift every time, also in terms of just the racing action. Last time when we had the Group 2 cars for the 3-hour stint at Autopolis, the 2008 Group 2 cars, I should notice, well, that was absolutely insane indeed. Well, Bambi, I'm sure you could sign up for one of the what is it called by now? The sprint race, which isn't so much of a sprint race. It's pretty much still a 1.5 hour endurance race. But you could sign up for one of these, Bambi. And just as a commentator, the IGTL has been amazing to follow. Even the of these, what have we done? 3, 4, 5 events or so. The 4 events by now, I think, with the F1 Grand Prix as well. And it's just been an amazing amount of growth. It's been an amazing, also just the interest shown from a lot of the top tier teams around of actually wanting to participate in that. Well, it's absolutely amazing, I can only say. So without further ado, we shall bring you what is and what has become the IGTL theme. So indeed, as we see the a little bit of obstruction for the IGTL cars making their way around, will of course be June before we get the next event underway, and no doubt we're all looking forward to knowing more of the details of the next race. What's that, Shomar? I've been told that F1 theme is actually copyright free, if I'm not completely mistaken. Amazingly so, believe it or not. Amazingly so indeed. And of course, the IGTL also brought to you in association with our lovely colleagues at both Abu on Twitch and Mark, aka White, on Twitch as well, for what is respectively the French and German language streams of the IGTL events. So if your English isn't your main thing, and if you're more comfortable with either French or German, well, we've got you covered. Martin Southback, 10th to 1st, $5. Please don't leave, Halbstack. It's good commercial value for the channel. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's warm up now on the way for the start of race 2. And should be noticed that it's of course a grid start this time around. And that's certainly going to be an interesting one. No traction control as well. And I'm just gonna give the hash lump a heart as well. He's got a heart made of hash. Did I just say that? I surprise myself sometimes. If I know Shomar right, he probably did it in a Ferrari as well, Kenny, which makes it even more impressive as well. Yeah, standing start. I'm just gonna... I have a keyboard typing quickly. Hey, Mr. Clutch. Well, glad to have you back. Welcome to the channel and welcome to chat. I don't remember you being in, or at least seeing your message in chat last week, even though we're not huge in any way, still quite a small channel here, and usually I do catch most of what's going on in chat. Sometimes though, when it's really active, I do have a message or two slip by me, which I try not to, because I want to welcome everyone who comes and watches along. I really want to say, and I want to say thanks for tuning in to everyone who's watching here tonight. It is of course a big pleasure of mine to have you all watching here for the monthly April edition of the Audi TT Showdown series. We've had a banging race 1, heat 1. We're getting close to heat 2 here. It's gonna be, as I mentioned before, reverse grid order, so it's gonna be Martin at the back. It's gonna be Schosse right in front of him. Then no, Martin, Schomar, Schosse, Halbstärk that way through. Yeah, that's true. Oh, Mr. Clutch, that's are you in the States? That would of course either you're in the States or you have evening shifts here in Europe. Or somewhere else in the world, I guess. But it's... I'm glad you could catch one of these. And it's also, and always a little bit of a problem there with the time difference. We do have a couple of friends that we're racing with in different series as well. Me personally and Trials as well. And it makes for racing in the middle of the night. Often with these guys, but it's always good fun. I think we're looking to get some oval racing going on the channel with some of these American friends of ours as well. And I've also been thinking about maybe making some kind of oval championship that would have a kind of a tournament structure, so we could have an opening round for the Americas and an opening round for Europe, and then we could have a final for the world. That could be kind of cool. Of course, tomorrow, what Alex in chat, who's TSR Jimmy, of course, he's talking about is the TSR Super Formula series, which has its third round happening tomorrow. And I'm also really feeling like oval racing would be cool. I know there's a series running on GT Planet already, using the Mustang Group 3 road car. That was also what I was thinking about for a NASCAR, and it would certainly be fun. Of course, if you want to take real burp, hashtag. Sorry, I had dinner almost right before the stream, so something had to come up. Anyway, if you feel like taking part in what a great commercial that is for the channel anyways, like big fat burp there before I try to say something about joining something. If you want to join the racing that we organize, or the series that are organized around the channel, some of the series that we broadcast or whatever, feel free to join our Discord, or to as well follow us on Twitter. Both of these links are at the bottom of the description. So we're starting soon. We're gonna have race 2, heat 2 underway in a couple of moments, and it's gonna be a very closely packed start there for turn 1 this time around, I'm quite sure. And of course, if we have any relative newcomers to the channel who hasn't subscribed already, well, if you like what we do here on the channel, feel free to subscribe and leave a like on the video as well, as it of course helps massively. And as a kind of new thing, we do also have a Patreon link at the bottom of the description. So if you really feel like donating to help us out with the gear and other stuff that we can use to improve our stuff and the channel, that's there too. Here's the starting grid for Heat 2. It's Quinten on pole in front of Calm, Campino, Dr. Hash, Junadesca, Halbstag, Aura, and Schosse in 8th position. And this is pretty much classic F1 style light, so you'll have 4 red lights that are gonna go green, and it's gonna be any time around now. Green, green, green here from the Nürburgring GP. Heat 2 is on, a lot of tire smoke, no traction control. Oh, is that falling back? Quinten got a brilliant start there, and it's pretty much 4 or 5 wide into turn 1 here as Halbstag comes out of nowhere pretty much, I'd say, and grabs 2nd position. Dr. Hash 3rd, it's Campino 4th, it's Aura 5th, Chomar in 6th position with Junadesca in 7th, Martin up in 8th position, battling for 9th here on his way into the stadium section. Calamity Corner, that's a very good name for it, Bambi, I have to say. Let's open that petition indeed. We're watching Grosso fighting Jimmy here for 9th, 10th position. It's Book just behind those two. Quinten leading there, and he's got a 1.8 second gap already. Halbstag, though, was really strong on the last race. Same goes for Dr. Hash. He's got Aura right on his bumper. Aura goes to the inside. Oh, who's that who makes it all the way? Who's that sailing wide? I think this was the orange car of Campino. Oh, almost made contact with one of the cars in front. I think he managed not to. Super close racing here already. That's a big train that's formed up all the way down to around Martin in 8th position, all the way up to Dr. Hatch in 3rd. And you can still see Quinten up in the lead. I'm quite sure that is Quinten in the lead. And then everything in between just squeezed into a couple of seconds. That's contact. That's contact between Martin and Campino after he got a little bit squiggly there with Junadesca. And that might be damage for the Dutchman, I'm quite afraid. Nope. Well-built Audis it is. Here as Martin is looking to get the run on the Portuguese in 7th. And he's doing just that into turn 1, into Calamity Corner. Is it going to be another one of those? Oh, that's a good cutback from Campino indeed. Uses his head to keep a hold of 7th position there, and they're both now pressuring Junadesca, and there's a little bit of a gap forming in front of Junadesca up to Chomar. It's the top 5 breaking away with Quinten, Halbstag, Dr. Hash, Aura, and as we see here in 5th position, it is the Frenchman Chomar. So on board with Chomar still into the hairpin. Let's look in behind. There's still that 2-second gap down to Junadesca, and then a big scrap in behind him. There's a big train forming up. I think that's pretty much the rest of the field who's formed up behind TX3 Junadesca at the moment. But it's also stretching out in front with both Quinten and Halbstag making a run for it. Dr. Hash defending well from Aura, but this might be the opportunity. And he does go through here, I think. Dr. Hash, though, has the inside line for the next corner. He gets squeezed out of it, and Shomar gets the run, and I think Dr. Hatch is going to be a double whammy for him this time around. Shomar does get his way through indeed. So running order at the moment, VLX, Quinten, the Volex esports driver in the lead in front of Halbstag, Aura, Shomar, Dr. Hatch, Unaleska, TSR Martin now getting in front of Grosso there. Grosso in 8th, Jimmy in 9th position, and I think that Campino has some kind of bad luck because he's down in last place. He was battling Martin before. Well, that was fast, Stick. Good job, I have to say. Oh, tire smoke there on the inside from the car of Jimmy, I'm quite sure. TSR Jimmy here running 9th on the tail of Grosso. And the sound of tortured tires here through the stadium section. Of course, we're just running both tire and fuel wear. Tire wear and fuel burning ×1 here. I think your ex-F1 skills will continue to pay off for the rest of your life. Every time you have to do anything mechanical, Stick, I think you'll find yourself being quite a bit faster than... Anyway, of course, should I just say I have a little bit of inside knowledge to the man that is TSR Stick? That he indeed has worked for quite a number of years as a technician and an engineer in F1, if I'm not completely mistaken. Or an engineer. I don't know if it was an engineer or a mechanic, but anyways, impressive nonetheless. Yeah, fuel wear and tire burning. Tire burning, well, that's not... Well, fuel and tire burn, that's what we're gonna call it here. With these cars and no ABS, that is pretty much what it is. Now Quinten and Halbstag rolling away here with Aura and Shomar fighting it off for 3rd position. Aura just has his nose in front, but he has the outside line into the final chicane. Shomar, he's shown on many of occasions already in the first heat. He knows how to defend through that final chicane indeed. In behind it's Unaleska 5th with Dr. Hatch 6th. Martin is up into 7th place. So last to what's it gonna be challenge. It's still rolling on. And Martin, I think he has a good run on Dr. Hatch here. He might be able to send it into Calamity Corner. So it is indeed an engineer. Oh, that doesn't make it less impressive at all. Oh, who's that? Jimmy getting in a little wide in turn 1. As he's battling with Grosso still. It's a Gulli in 10th having joined us instead of one of the 2 Portuguese drivers. No, Campino is still here as well. Oh well. A crash or explosion, a rapid unscheduled disassembly. When I worked as a bike mechanic, that's of course a little less fiddly, I know, but used to have these explosion drawings of all kinds of things like gear hubs and stuff. I know what you're feeling. Bambi, we're on the same page here. Doubtless. Carm is in 11th place. He had a really good couple of races last month. So must be a little disappointing for the Canadian to find himself down 11th and with a lot of damage for the first race indeed. Now look at this, because Quinten, the Volex driver, really has Halbstag for company now. The German is on the tail of the Belgian in front. It's 2.5 seconds behind him. Aura's actually lost a second there. Dr. Hatch is with a lot of company now because Unaleska and Martin is right on his tail here. Martin is going to make a move into the chicane here, I think. In the final chicane, is he going to take 6th place from Unaleska? Better go watch it, he is. It's TSR Martin. He's from last to 6th on the opening 4 laps. It's impressive stuff indeed from the Flying Dutchman. Really showing that he's befriended the Audi TD Cup car pretty well here. The Titty Cup. Usually you find them in pairs, and that's where they're coming down the final straight, the start-finish straight, as Martin is looking for take another position as he's up the inside of Dr. Hash. He's up into 5th position. It's TSR Martin on a roll here. Dr. Hash is going to attempt to cut back on the outside, but it is the outside line for this corner as well, and that's not going to work out for him. Brilliant stuff from Martin. Let's have another look at the lunge up the inside, which wasn't really a big lunge because they were just all more or less side by side. That's a big slide to actually make it stick. Martin, maximum attack Martin. Up into 5th position. He's now chasing Aura. Shomar is 3rd, and he's trying to catch up to... Oh, and Halbstag. Halbstag has gotten past on Quinten and is now leading by half a second. And I think that happened in turn 1 as well. So still close stuff in the lead battle. Less than 0.3 of a second separating Halbstag and Quinten. Shoma now slowly appearing from the dust. The more these two battle, the more the Frenchman is going to gain. Aura showed in Heat 1 that he had good pace about him. He is gaining as well on the leaders now. So it might be a big train forming up. Martin, oh, Dr. Hash, he's flashing and flashing and flashing. Hasn't picked up any damage or anything. Now it's Dr. Hash on the outside, outbraking with seems relative ease actually. Martin there. And also there's a move with, I think it's Jimmy actually trying to move up the outside of Grosso there. As we see Martin moving up into 5th position. Chocolate engines. They certainly sound like they're made of chocolate compared to... I don't know, when I was... I'm 28 now. So I'm still a young man, I guess, but... Would be unfair to call me an old man at 28. But the point being that when I was a kid, F1 had V10 engines. Even when I was really a kid, they had fucking V12s in the Ferraris. And that was just something else. That's 17,000, 18,000 RPM redline, those screaming engines. Certainly missing that these days. We're watching Quinten. Quinten, oh, what happened to Halbstag? Halbstag finds himself now in 3rd position. As I'm getting nostalgic speaking about old F1 engines, Halbstag has been in, and he does so yet again, opening the door for Aura this time around, I think. But doesn't... he was all about to cause more calamities there in that hairpin. Evening goat. Old fart. And that reminds me of that George Carlin part where he talks about himself being an old fuck. Yeah, I'm an old fuck. That's good fun. Rest in peace to George Carlin, the greatest comedian of all time. If you ask me, that's just my personal opinion, of course. It's now Halbstag having fallen back into 3rd position, so Quinten doing a very good job so far. Shomar in 2nd, he's also kept it very clean here for the 2nd heat. It's Aura right on the tail of former leader Halbstag. And then in behind, it's now Martin having gotten past Dr. Hash yet again, and Hash is about to try to return the favor into turn 1 as the two go side by side. But I'd favor Martin for keeping his way in front this time around. And he does so. But yet again, that's just for the time being. And it's Junaleska and Grosso went behind in 7th and 8th at the moment. In 9th, it's Gulli. Closely followed by Jimmy, and it's Calm in 11th, and it's Book down in 12th position at the moment. Quinten, 1.2 seconds in front of Shomar still, but the Frenchman seems to be catching up ever so slightly. So this four-way as it's turning out to be for the last 5-6 laps of racing the battle for the lead. A four-way scrap by now. Because it's all seeming to come back together. Oh, as Martin finds himself side by side with Dr. Hash yet again up through the Schumacher S's. And he's still holding on to that 5th position. There's a little bit of flashing going on here from Dr. Hash. Not quite sure why. Perhaps he finds that Martin is defending a little too aggressively. Which I'm not quite sure that I've seen any real situations where I felt like he did that or it looked like he did that. It's been hefty but clean so far. Dr. Hash is on the outside here. Martin protects. There's a move coming from the inside, and that's oh, Dr. Hash! Oh, Dr. Hash and Unaleska. There's a big that's half a pileup in behind actually. Let's watch it from the car of Gulli here, because he's got Grosso on his side. There's Unaleska getting a poor run out of that final chicane. And now a lot of positions being changed further down the order here, as there's a little bit of contact also between two of the Portuguese drivers into turn 1, I think. And Jimmy getting the better of that situation. He's up into 9th now. Quinten holding off from Chomar, Halbstag and Aura at the moment. Martin, I think, is too far down to be able to touch on these leaders. Quinten is putting in a good pace. And Quinten is, well, he was purple through the first sector, but Chomar is now gaining up to the hairpin here. Let's go on board with Aura, the final car in this train, if you dare call it that. There's a little bit of a gap between Halbstag and the two cars in front. It's a question of if Halbstag is able to catch up or if Aura will be pressing. Certainly both those drivers have shown that they have the ability, they have the pace to be up there. Halbstag, after his slight incident, well, he'd probably like to keep it consistent for the rest of the race. Right now he's having to defend from Aura here in the battle for 3rd position. In front it's Chomar getting ever closer to Quinten. And I'm having a feeling that the Frenchman has put together a brilliant lap here as he takes a move for the lead on the exit of the final chicane, and he grabs the lead coming into the final corner. He has Quinten parked on the outside, and Quinten goes to get a good run here. That is going to be interesting to see. Wayne Cam will show us everything here. Quinten is certainly gaining. He's certainly got a very good run. The Belgium really was quick-witted in that situation, went for that cutback very early, and that's given him the opportunity to go for the inside yet again. And it comes off for Quinten as Chomar gets squibbly on the outside. Quinten holds off after a challenge, though. They're still side-by-side. It's not over yet. Ooh, trading paints there through the stadium section. And there's tire smoke locking up there. Still side-by-side the two. Nobody will budge here. Who will be the victor in this duel? Chomar going very wide. So far it is Chomar taking advantage of it. Perhaps is Halbstag in 3rd. Oh, Quinten almost going wide, but he manages to defend from Halbstag. This is brilliant racing indeed. We're on board with Halbstag in 3rd position. Right behind him it's Aura, as you see here. He's down in 4th. That is given logic, I think. Quinten there in the number 91 car. In front of them, leading at the moment, the AS Monaco driver, that is Chomar. Impressive. The top 4 separated by less than 0.8 of a second. So that long side-by-side battle between Chomar and Quinten really allowed both Halbstag and Aura to get back into it. And they're all within the slipstream, and that's just going to make it all the harder for Chomar to actually break away from this pack yet again. It's coming in thick and fast here. I think Quinten... Oh, Halbstag bins it. Halbstack is on the entrance to the final chicane. I could hardly keep up there myself. Let's have another look. It looks like that snap oversteer that Kenny was talking about when applying the rear brakes too hard. Oh yeah, he has to take evasive action, and he even manages actually to hit Quinton. And Quinton might be unlucky, but he might in turn also be lucky that there isn't really any part to damage on the car. Let us have a look if anybody sustained any kind of damage there. There is a little bit of damage, then there will be more damage, I think. Nope, that's impressive. Halbstack, of course, sustaining a little damage as well, but no damage after that little bit of a touch between Quinton and Aura on the exit of turn 1 at the top. Another look at that one from before. That's Quinton, and he has Aura on the outside. Oh, that's not what we want to do. Stop playing games with my pad. See that Quinton getting all squiddly on the braking as well, making a little bit of contact with Aura. That's the name of the game without ABS, I guess. And all that action has left Shomar just sailing away. He's now 3 seconds ahead of Quinton. Aura still third, Halbstack fourth. Martin is still trying to catch up, but he's just got that German Dr. Hash right on his tail. He's had it for quite a bit of time now, and he's had a hard time actually getting to break away from Dr. Hash, and that certainly has impeded his further progress up to try and catch those 4 guys who's broken away from the rest. And with well, 2.5 laps of racing left, it's not gonna be I don't think it's gonna be possible for them to catch up unless somebody gets it all wrong, of course. You never know. Let's hope not. Shomar leading Quinton by 3 seconds. Quinton having to defend from Aura because he's well, just outside of striking distance, more or less. Then Halbstack, who of course picked up that damage. Martin sail into the clutches, or Halbstack sail into the clutches of Martin now that he's picked up that damage, but it all depends on the situation here between Martin and Dr. Hash, and they chose to work together instead of squabbling. It might just work out for him. Doesn't seem like it. It's a hard-fought battle for P5. Then in behind it's Grosso, Gulli, Unaleska, and basically the rest of the field, I guess. Carm in 10th, Jimmy in 11th, and then it's Book in behind in 12th here as Unaleska goes up the inside of Gulli, and that's Unaleska up into 8th position. A good move from the Frenchman. And not a chance to defend that one from Gulli, the Portuguese. And he now has to deal with Kondo. Jimmy and Book very much also still in the mix here. Seems like no one's really had that piece of real calamity actually that you'd maybe expect from standing start turn 1 here at the Nürburgring GP. Shomana leading, it's 3.5 seconds down to Quinton, and Aura getting very, very close indeed now, right on the bumper as we're on the penultimate lap up through the Schumacher S's. Will it be possible for the German to grab second position? Quinton going defensive here. And that might just be going a little too deep, but he's got Aura parked on the outside. And it was obvious that Aura wanted that cutback run early on the power, but he's in the slipstream. He's getting parked on the outside by Quinton yet again. And not a chance to overtake their strong defensive move from Quinton just to shut out the competition. See battling going on between Gulli and Unaleska, yes, yet again. As the Portuguese is moving back up into 8th position here on the final lap. And Jimmy also getting the better of Carm, the Canadian. So that's some really good stuff. Racing on all parts here. Oh, on exit. Quinton seeming to run a little wide. Halbstack still suffering from the damage, having lost quite a bit of time. But still 3.5 seconds. Looks manageable down to Martin. So the battles that are on are for 2nd position, and then yet another battle for 5th as well. And these two are really going at it at the moment. Shomar 4.5 seconds up. He has been flying though this race. And thanks, Bloy. I appreciate the comment. I appreciate your kind words. Oh, that's Aura absolutely binning it in the chicane. And, surely that's not what he wanted when he went for the attack. On the outside of Quinton here. Outbreaks himself, and then the lack of ABS, of course, doesn't help. And that's put him right into the clutches of Halbstack here on the final lap. So Halbstack, after all, might just make the podium. He's got the run on him. Coming down towards the final chicane. What's it gonna be? Well, it's gonna be Aura just shutting out Halbstack, it seems. And look at that, Dr. Hash actually, or Martin and Dr. Hash, I think, not that far behind. Anyway, we're gonna... Oh, what? Halbstack is making his way through as Shomar crosses the finish line, crosses the checkered flag, but we're gonna go on board with Halbstack here, because what is it gonna be? It's gonna be a drag race all the way to the finish line, and Aura gets it. Oh, that's all the way to the line in the most literal fashion I have seen since, pretty much since one of those famous Tichney all the way to the line IGTL finishes as well. And that's the entire field within 20 seconds as well. That was a close race, if ever I've seen one. Damn. Close indeed. Congratulations to Shomar, rolling up 8 positions through that race. That was certainly a strong performance. Same goes for Martin, also a strong performance. Last to 5th, I have to say. And of course, to any newcomers to the channel, do hit the like button. And if you like what we do here on Half the Race Gone, press that subscribe and the bell icon as well to keep notified of whenever we are on the air. On the air. We're on the air. Do apologize, my coughing. So, with the second heat of racing done, well, that leaves us with the bonus round. That is red versus black, the destruction derby that is about to take place. Rules are quite simple. Each team, the red team and the black team, will have 2 cars. It'll have 5 attackers, which will be, or 5 defenders, I'm sorry, which will be Hellcats, Dodge Charger Hellcats, and then 2 defenders, which will be those who will be going for the line. Attackers, I'm really mixing it up. There will be 5 defenders, that'll be Hellcats, 2 attackers going for the line, that'll be the Mustang Group 3 road cars. And then it basically is an all tricks count race to the line, 4 laps, I suppose, if I remember correctly. And it was very fun last time. And the rules are basically that there are no rules. You can cut the track if there are any points where you can cut the track. You can, you're supposed to hammer the other cars off. And it's also a question is trying to block off the opposing attacking cars and simply just trying to hold them back, trying to force yeah, it's gonna be good fun. Trying to what was I trying to say even? I speak too much sometimes. No. Just holding up the opposition while Actually, what we saw last time was also that it's the red versus black events tend to be a balance between defending your own attacker and attacking the other's attacker. It's there's more to it than just crashing into one another. So do not go anywhere. There it is, the Grand Prix layout, of course, of Brands Hatch, because you can cut at the Indy circuit without being reset, without the flag rules here. It's amazing. Of course, damage is still on heavy, if I'm not completely mistaken. We can just have a look at that, actually. Yes, mechanical damage on heavy. Oh, Quentin had to leave. Well, complaining parents, what can you do? What can you do? And there was a lot of battling, there was a lot of close racing, Alex. I hope you didn't have any true frustrating experiences, but racing can be really frustrating indeed. So it's time for red versus black. Somebody jump on track so we can spectate it, goddammit. You know what? I have a pad here. Do I have any of the cars? I guess I do have the... I have both, actually. It's red versus black. Now here comes the blue car. Look at the Pep go. The pleb with a pad. Actually, I have to... My pad is broken. And so is my English. See if we can get the braking zone right. I actually have done a little bit of pad practicing of late. Oh god, I'm really messing up right now. I've been playing Gran Turismo 2 on my PC with a pad. What a nostalgic, nice experience that is, by the way, getting back on Gran Turismo 2. And just to make sure I'm not taking part in the red versus black events, I'm just sort of going around for a lap. That was too fast. There's no downforce on this car. Into the gravel trap we go. Bye bye. Please give me my wheel back. Yeah, I drive like I have hooves for hands. That's how I drive Goat. So that's basically, I guess, just like Goatman indeed. We have Martin on track, so we have someone to watch. Thanks, Martin. Drive like the Goat Man. Oh, that's... It's sad that we can't get the replay on that one, because that was that was an impressive send, cross-track send. So here is Aura, who's gonna be attacking for the black team. Martin, she's gonna be defending for the black team. There's me, I'm gonna leave track because I'm not supposed to be there. That was better. Dr. Hash, he's gonna be attacking for the red team. There's Junaleska, he's in a white Mustang. And Smilehead might just have died behind the wheel. No, he's still alive. That's good. That's good. And already people are going both ways around the track. Perfect. No, mentioning Gran Turismo 2, just having done the 30 laps of Trial Mountain earlier today. That was good fun. That was nostalgic. Yeah, it corners like an American car. It doesn't really want to do it. It corners about as well as a teenager cleans up his room. Oh, that's a big impact. And this is what Red versus Black is all about. Yeah, that's probably a good idea with mechanical damage to light. Otherwise, all those cars are gonna be going very slowly all of a sudden. So the deal is that everyone will be lining up, and then we'll have 4 laps. That was 4 laps last time around when we were fewer people. That might actually be 5 laps today. And yeah, we need an SR. We need SR up and SR down emojis. I saw that they have them actually in... what was that, in Charlie Roscoe's Discord? That someone had made SR up and down... on the decals on the cars. I thought I had a pop-up on my windows. I could see the SR down. I thought it was... about emojis, because it would also be cool emojis in turn to have SR up and down emojis. So here are the cars lining up. Still no ABS, of course not, never. ABS is dead to me. Oh, it is on, okay. That's a shame. Grosso coming out of the pits here. Everyone is lining up now. We'll just need for the last couple of drivers to join the rest. Here's Jimmy getting ready. Say Carm needs to go for the red team. Shoma needs to go for the red team as well. We have a single striker for each. A single striker, I call it like it's football. A single attacker, a single Mustang, and it's all Hellcats, I think, otherwise. And we might just put on the entire bunch of info here. That's Aura. So the deal is that it's for the 2 attackers, the first of those who completes the set amount of laps. It's gonna be declared the winner. And I believe I still have Dr. Hash on Discord here, so I'm just gonna ask him, Hash, of course, if you're still with me here on Discord, how many laps are the red versus black race gonna be? Of course, Dr. Hash now being presented with the task of some serious multitasking in turn. Oh, it's my call. It's my call for how many laps. Well, we're gonna do 5 laps. I'm gonna put it in chat as well. Four laps. 4 laps it is then. And Alex, who you need to stop here? You need to stop the opposing Mustang. So you are black, right? Then you would need to, yeah, you need to stop the red Mustang, the Mustang of Dr. Hash. Look at the chaos! They're off! And are they a car down? Well, I hope not. Is that Dr. Hash in the red Mustang getting brilliantly away, and then a bunch of carnage in behind? That's a repeat of what happened last time, and there's not a single black car that has gone the other way around. Oh, there actually is. Somebody's going the wrong way around there, passing the finish line right about now. We're gonna have a look who it is. And it is Martin who's taken the decision, the wise decision, to of course try to cut off Dr. Hash at the other end of affairs. We're gonna join back here. Let's see Aura on the black Mustang. He's a bit away behind. Grosso in front. He should actually really just turn around and try to get a hit in. Look at that car! Just brilliantly takes out Aura here. And there comes another hit to him. Oh, Aura's so heavily impeded here. This is where you don't want to get in. He's really in the clutches. This is like watching Robot Wars. And Dr. Hash now also getting hit at the same time. But the defender's going at the defenders. And there is Martin coming for the kill. But Dr. Hash is about to complete his first lap. Although, not if I think Jimmy can have a say about it. Oh, Martin outbreaks him, and then Grosso comes out. So Grosso doing a brilliant job of actually defending, and then Martin goes onto, Dr. Hash goes onto the attack to actually clear a path. But that was actually Hash getting really just pushed off there. There's Grosso. It's a bit of carnage between himself and Jimmy. And it's all about just trying to forge a path. Look at that, that's who's that holding up Dr. Hash? That must be Unaleska. It's not. Well, who is it then? Dr. Hash getting around. A frisky move indeed. And this certainly looks like a daily race. It looks like your perfect daily race A to me. 4 laps around Brain Hatch GP. Let the destruction begin. Dr. Hash is leading for red team at the moment. He's completed his first lap of 4 that he is to run here. Here is the attacking car of the black team. It's driven by Aura. Oh, that's a good piece of defending there to let the team captain, the attacker, through. And he's now finding himself with a good bit of clear track in front. Oh, and Dr. Hash. Dr. Hash got taken out completely there. So that's a really good piece of teamwork by the black team, who's now put the red attacking car into the wall, and he's really suffering with it. And Aura has clear track in front of him. He's making important ground at the moment. Oh yeah, Kenny, that's a good idea, but I've turned them off and now I can't turn them back on, can I? Oh yeah, I can. Boom. I thought I'd had to leave watching, but it isn't so. Aura doing a good job of missing. It's Martin going around the wrong way on patrol, and I think he catches Dr. Hash. No, that was just Grosso in before. Grosso clearing the way. Martin just gets a little punt in, but that's Jimmy in before. Dr. Hash trying to get around. Jimmy, that's pro stuff there. Puts Hash in the gravel trap. Almost puts him in the pit lane. That would be perfect stuff if he'd managed to do so. But yeah, party chat. Maybe we can get some of the guys to run it in one of the open on our HCRG Discord in one of the open channels next time. Because we have 2 channels there. We actually have more, but we have 2 race chat radios, so they could use those. Just saying. 3rd lap for Dr. Hash, and he gets really taken out by Martin. They're anticipating it very well, I have to say. And here comes TSR teammate Jimmy to cause even more trouble for Dr. Hash. The red team who won last time out, with Dr. Hash in the attacking Mustang as well. Or I have to say, doing a very good job here. He's defended by Smilehead, and he's made his way for most part around. They are seeing what's coming up on the radar though. Oh, that's brilliant stuff, dodging whoever came in there in the wrong way. Smilehead taking the first hit, and Aura dodging the second one, and now it's Martin ready to defend. Very organized stuff here we're seeing from the black team. I have to say it's working brilliantly for him, because they're a long way in front of the red team by now. Look at that. Pentakill for the final time for Aura and the black team. Although, as we saw last time around, that final lap can take a long time indeed. And here's Dr. Hash, also through Pentakill now, but he's gonna need some serious help to... and yet again, Aura makes it through one of the red team roadblocks. Supported by Smilehead still as they go around there. That looks... Oh, as he gets taken out this time around though. But the... I have to say, it doesn't get impeded too bad in the end. Hash is with a bit of clear space in front of him, and he's closing the gap. But is it closing enough? That is, of course, the question. Don't necessarily think so. Oh! Well, Aura gets taken out by Calm here. And now Shoma is ready to get in the way, but Aura just dodges us brilliantly onto the grass, although he really gets hit hard by Calm, and that's a deep gravel trap. Let's see if they can really block him out there. Shoma, yep. That's where they want to get him. Where is Dr. Hash? Oh, he's getting taken out. This is going to be going absolutely to the line, because it's the final lap. Who gets the run out of here? The black cars are there. Oh, it's side by side. It's going to be absolutely brilliant, this. Look at that. That Smilehead blocking off Dr. Hash to let Aura through. Is somebody going to destroy Aura's car? No, he's not, as he's cut through. And I think black team is going to take the win here. It's too late for Shoma as black team crosses the line. Brilliant stuff indeed. Brilliant stuff, I have to say. That really, that actually became exciting there on the on the final lap indeed. So with our bonus round of red versus black done, well, that concludes our broadcast here for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to our monthly Audi TD Showdown series. It's going to be running all the way through 2019. And of course, red versus black is going to return every time. And yeah, that's a shame. Closer and cleaner racing than the FIA. Indeed, Kenny. You know, everything that has your name on it is bound to... Or your name on it, not that you're a part of this, but you know what I mean. We make close racing happen here, okay? But anyway, thanks for tuning in for tonight's broadcast. It's been a big pleasure having you all along. And we'll be back for more Gran Turismo live racing tomorrow as we bring you the third round of the TSR Super Formula Series. It's been so close, it's been so exciting for the first couple of rounds. I predict it will be exactly the same for tomorrow's race, so do tune in tomorrow. It's going to be going down at the 9:30 Central European Time. Of course, we're going to be back on Thursday as well. That's going to be me for Dirten Rally. And then I think that will be it for this week. Of course, many more weeks to come in the future. So with that said, it's been a great pleasure having you along. As said, I think I said that before already. But do remember to like the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe if you like what we do here on the channel, and if you feel like we're worthy of one of your subscriptions. Anyway, so yeah, hope to see you again on the channel here soon. And with that said, I'm DirtenDK. You've been watching Have the Race Gone, and until next time, take care, have fun, and bye bye.